Hello. A few days ago I produced a video, how deep should I plant my potatoes? And that was a question that crops up quite a bit on YouTube. How deep should I plant my potatoes? So I thought I'd shoot that video, show you how I do it, and then you decide if you want to do it the same way or if there's a better way. And I got some nice correspondences back, and that's one of the reasons why I'm shooting this video today, because it actually sowed the seeds of doubt in my mind that what I was actually saying was true. You know, what I was saying was, in this 10-inch pot, I would sow one seed potato on about 2 inches of compost, and that would give me a 6 to 8 inch covering of compost. And what I was finding was that at the end of the growing season, when I emptied this pot out, when I turned it over, when I took it off and exposed the soil ball, the root ball, there was no potatoes in that couple of inches except the seed potato. All the potatoes were actually above the seed potato. And I believe that's how it was for all potatoes, but apparently, and I've had some correspondences on this, there are different types of potatoes and we might expect them to do different things. There's determinate potatoes and indeterminate potatoes. Now, I'd never heard of those before, so let me show you what we're going to do. Apparently, early potatoes like this Winston and main crop potatoes like this Nicola have different growing habits. These earlies are the potatoes I grow in these pots, and they definitely all do produce potatoes above the seed potato. These main crop, I generally grow those in raised beds or bags, but I have grown them in here. But what I've come to think since I've shot that video is that if I plant this with just 2 inches of compost below it, to be honest, there's no room for it to produce potatoes below it, is there? It's so close to the bottom it couldn't physically do that. And so maybe the way that I'm planting these things is putting that restriction on them. So what if we planted them, say, 6 inches from the bottom, so that we have a 6-inch space for roots to grow and maybe potatoes to develop, but we only have a 2 or 3, 4-inch covering, so there's no room up here for potatoes to develop. It's all below the seed potato. I think that's worth a shot, don't you? It's easy enough to do. Instead of putting 2 inches of compost in here, we'll put 6 inches of compost in here. We'll sit these on 6 inches, put 4 inches over them, and then when we come to harvest these potatoes, we'll see if there's anything growing in that 6 inches of compost. That should tell us one way or another, shouldn't it? Now, the way that I actually demonstrated this to you on the last video is to tell you to go and look at my videos 4-pot shootout. Basically, it's 4 pots of early potatoes that I've turned out, and I think you'll see in every instance there's nothing grown in them bottom 2 inches. But perhaps that's because there wasn't enough space. So let's give them some space. Let's do a trial. Okay, I'll just pop these to one side and I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to make some compost first. This is a soil-based compost of mine. There'll be all kinds in that from over the years, but it is a good compost. We'll give it some spark by adding some bloodfish and bone. And we'll also add some 6X dry farmyard manure, and this is why Molly's paying close attention. Did you see that trial I done? Well, hey, get out of there, where Molly sneaked in behind me and started eating the compost. Right, so we'll mix that up. Now I'm going to be sowing 2 pots today, and there isn't enough compost in here for 2 pots. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add some of this stuff. This is forest bark and wood chip. Excuse me, Mol. So this is a really rustic mix of compost. It's soil based, but it's organically enriched with all that forest bark and wood chip and that bloodfish and bone. Right, Mol, let's get these 2 pots into shot. So these are our 2 pots. And rather than the usual 2 inches, we'll go 6 inches. And on the top of that one will sit Nicola. Okay. So as you can see, Nicola is planted at the top of this pot. There's going to be very little covering over Nicola, it's all going to be below her. And if she's going to produce potatoes, where's she going to produce them, above or below? What's your money on? Will it work? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, that's Nicola. We've got a ticket made out. We'll stick it in. I'll pop this here. Keep an eye on Molly. Right. And this one, this is the early potato, Winston. It looks like we're just going to have enough here. So this is Winston. He hasn't got much room to do anything there, has he? Well, we'll find out, won't we? Will Winston be able to? Has Winston got enough room to produce potatoes? There we go. Oh, missed. There we go. Let's pop the other one in. Excuse me, Mol. That's it then. We're up and running. Early potato, main crop potato, 6 inches of compost below them, up to 4 inches of compost above them. Let's see where they produce potatoes. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Stick with it, there will be an end result in a few months' time. This is Homegrown Veg and my mate Molly signing out.